Good morning, everybody. I was listening to Hugh Hewitt, and I often am uncomfortable with him, disagree with him, because I don't, he's a little bit centrist, and sometimes certain things that he says rub me the wrong way, but I like to hear opposing views because it opens my mind. Yesterday I had a great conversation with someone at work about a lot of the issues going on in the world. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what Hugh Hewitt talked about just now on the radio, and he's encouraging people to share this on their social media. And I think he's correct. Whatever we feel about this law that was just passed by Mr. Biden. And it's very problematic, and it's very, it could lead to a lot of problems, could lead to a lot of inflation, God forbid, and a lot of difficulties. And it's very short-sighted. However, the short-sighted of the Democrats had some positive aspects to it. Pretty much all the years the Democrats were fighting against voucher programs for schools, and they were trying to uplift the indoctrination camps that they unironically call public schools. Here they just gave the opportunity, really, for just about every parent in America to send their children to private schools. And the child payments that are going out are going to be going out soon, every month. That can go right to tuition to get your kids out of the failed public quote-unquote school system. And really the only way to save your children and protect them from the damage that is done by the woke left is to send your children to private religious schools, whatever your religion is. Obviously, I'm Jewish, send my children to yeshivas. And if you're Jewish, that's where your children belong. Your children do not belong in public school. If you're Catholic, send your kids to Catholic school. If you're Protestant, there are plenty of good Protestant Christian schools. If you're Muslim, there are madrasas. You have options. If you want your kids to still be your kids and not be wards of the state, not be brainwashed, not be part of the Brave New World 1984 craziness that the left wants to impose on us, use this thing that they just gave us unwittingly against them. Use it to get your kids out of the woke public schools that are brainwashing your kids to hate you, and send them to private religious schools. Even, I would say, even if you're not particularly religious, if you're not antagonistic toward religion, find a good religious school that will respect your values, but also instill some kind of goodness and normalcy into your children. The problem is a lot of the religious schools are messed up, particularly the more expensive elite ones, but there are plenty of private schools that are not that expensive. Something like this, about $300 a month, $250 a month, that's being offered. You could get a scholarship, and that could be your tuition. Or maybe you could afford another $50 or $100 a month. Or, you have a lot of options. So, obviously there's a certain amount of people that can't afford anything, and whatever this money is, at least for now, it's just going to be to survive. But the vast majority of people are not in that situation. And if we have these payments that they're giving out per child, use it for a private religious school. And if you live somewhere where there isn't one locally, now you have a lot of these online homeschool programs. You could probably use that money to pay for a babysitter while if you have to go to work, or to hire a tutor or something, toward that. Get a group together, start your own school, that will have your values in mind instead of the values of the failed left-wing woke communist public school system. So let's use this thing against them. Use this, what they think they just gave us, to ensure that the future is not bleak, because the children are our future, and that's the only way that we're going to ensure that the next generation is going to continue, and we don't have just a bunch of Greta Thunbergs crying scared to death of their own shadow because of and or thinking that, or being taught that they're inherently racist from when they're 2 months old because they were born white, and all this nonsense that the left is pushing in the public schools. Send your kids to a good private school, and the great thing is that this money is not earmarked, because that was always the fear about these voucher programs is, well, does that mean because the money is government money, are they going to start bossing us around? As far as what we teach in our schools, and we're nervous about that as it is without that, and this would of course make it much worse. But this method, where you could use this money for whatever you want. It's not earmarked for anything in particular, not for food, not for clothing, not for education. You could buy video games with it. You could buy soda with it. You could buy soda on food stamps also. But I'm saying you can buy whatever you want with this money. Use it for the best investment you could ever make for your children's future. Make sure that they're still going to be continuing at least, the best options, the best try we can have, that your children will be continuing following your values. At least give them a shot by offering this to them, and at least giving them an actual education, as opposed to the garbage that's taught in these communist indoctrination camps that our taxpayer money is forced to pay for the public schools. Let's shut them all down. Let's get all the kids out of those places. We're gonna turn this country around. And all those people who are crying about in East Ramapo School District, who are not Jewish, and are complaining, all of you guys, you send your kids to private schools. Now you can send your kids to private schools. We have to get the pastors in Rockland County to open some good Christian schools and get their kids out of the public school garbage. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment. We'll see you later.